In a 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court today upheld the Trump administration's travel restrictions from certain Muslim-majority nations because of national security concerns. Now, writing for the majority, Chief Justice John Roberts said the executive order was within the scope of presidential authority. In her dissent, which she read from the bench, which is unusual, Justice Sonia Sotomayor claimed the travel ban was discriminatory and appeared to be anti-Muslim. Let's debate that with San Francisco attorney Harmeet Dillon, the RNC committeewoman from California, and Washington immigration attorney Alan Orr. Great to see both of you. All right, Alan, here are the 10 countries with the largest Muslim populations. This is the most recent time it was checked. Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Egypt, then bottom Iran, Turkey, Algeria, Morocco. If Donald Trump was targeting Muslim-majority countries, why wouldn't he target the largest Muslim-majority countries in the world?
So I'm not sure exactly the rationale of why he wouldn't target those countries, but in essence, he did target Muslim countries in this ban.
But no, if it's based on religion, you would want to hit the most
a rational person would want to.
But why did Obama have those on the list?
Well, Obama might have had those concerns as well, but he moved past those concerns. And the difference between the Obama administration and this administration is the time length of the actual bans. And so celebrating today's travel ban restrictions as a win really isn't the case, because what you saw from the court was constant changing. So you're at the third version of the travel ban. It started from a complete class of people, including green card holders and non-immigrant holders, and it moved down to just people who are currently applying for visas. So it's a little bit different in scope and size. And just because you discriminate against one person out of that group doesn't mean you're not discriminating against the whole group as a whole. So I think we should be very careful in saying that this wasn't discriminatory.
Well, so Indonesia, India, Pakistan, Harmeet, you're from India. And
yep.
This is an issue that, you're Sikh Indian, but this is an issue that's near and dear to your heart. You've studied this issue. I don't think the travel ban rollout, I think Alan's right, it was not the finest moment for the Trump administration for a variety of reasons. PR-wise, communication-wise, the way it was drafted, I would have done it differently, but it's easy to say it in hindsight. But the court here said statements by the president during the campaign were not dispositive. This is a textualist reading of the statute itself that gives the president this broad power in immigration, correct?
Yeah, that's right, Laura. I mean, you're exactly correct. I think that first travel ban done 7 days after the administration was sworn in was rough in a lot of ways, and I'm really glad that the system has worked so that it's evolved down to the system where the Supreme Court said that it had a lot of safety checks. It allowed a lot of people in on a waiver basis. And the administration has been able to prove to the court that they've already lifted some countries from the ban. So Chad, for example, has come off the list, Iraq, and so we're really looking at a system where even Jimmy Carter had a country on the list, so did Ronald Reagan, so it is not unprecedented. And what the Supreme Court ruled here was very correct, which is that if a statute gives the authority to the president, then the motivation isn't really part of what their consideration should be. It's absolute authority under 8 U.S.C. 1182.
So, Alan, we were talking about rhetoric earlier and what rhetoric has done to the discourse in this country. And this is what a former Republican, Steve Schmidt, who advised the successful Lamar Alexander for president campaign and the John McCain, that's a low blow, campaign. He's a strategist. But this is what he said about the travel ban. Let's watch.
Today was a fantastic fulfillment of Osama bin Laden's vision by Donald J. Trump. What Osama bin Laden hoped to provoke was a war of civilization, a war between the West and 1 billion Muslims. And so what Donald Trump and this Muslim ban signal to the world is that Muslims are not welcome here.
Jared Kushner, just back from the Middle East, having unprecedented high-level meetings with majority Muslim countries about how to, move forward together, modernize Islam, and perhaps maybe even making peace in the Middle East a reality. Do you agree with what he said there?
I think the message is already clear about whether immigrants are welcome in this country right now or not. So it sort of heightens that already. But I think one of the things as lawyers, as we're having a lawyerly conversation, is to talk about the posture of the court. So what today was decided was about the preliminary injunction. So it actually goes back to a full trial in local court. So the only thing that was won is just the injunction. So we aren't actually finished with everything.
What's the likelihood of success on the merits?
Yeah, but the
I'd
injunction is
say
90% of the. That's 90% of the battle.
Yeah, that's
it's game
in a
over
preliminary
once you won the injunction for the most
yeah,
part.
So
let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, so Harmeet, you can explain that, because if you actually want to stop the travel ban, if you don't stop the travel ban with the injunction, where are you going to go here?
Well,
No,
you might go to discovery.
And any litigator, any litigator can tell you that once you've won the injunction in the United States Supreme Court, the writing is on the wall. The rationales used by the lower courts to knock down this order have been eviscerated by the court. So there's really nowhere for them to go. And I don't think that this is an open issue anymore. I think that liberal heads have exploded. It's time to move on. And hopefully these countries will, using the protocols in the order, be able to remove themselves from the list once they prove themselves to be a place where we can verify who's coming.
Last word to Alan.
Yeah, I don't think my head has not exploded, and we're still on the fighting ground. And the next the next battlefield will be at the ballot.
It's not exploding. It's making a good argument. Okay, but I think Harmeet, other heads are exploding. To say it's Osama bin Laden's fulfillment of his fantasy. I mean, this is now, like, Alan's making a good point, trying to make a legal point. This is like Osama bin Laden. If you're going to Osama bin Laden, okay, you kind of lost
hysteria.
The
Nazi. It's everything is hysteria these days.
I guess Nazi has gotten old, so now it's Osama bin Laden. Okay. Love having you both on. Thank you so much.